I can't stand the fools. Show them the smallest mercy and they bite the hand that feeds them.
Roger that.
Here I come!
We're gonna die!
Leave it to me!
Yeah,
Persona 5, Tactica. 5 Tactica.
Persona 5, Persona 5, Tactica!
Persona 5 Tactica.
Persona 5 Tactica. The game I would have never made a video on until I paid for it with my own money. So rest assured, my opinion is from a place of personal and financial investment, and I'm not just gonna obliviously claim it's amazing, but not as good as P5 Royal like everybody else's videos who so subtly whisper that they're making sponsored content for ATLUS. So yes, P5 Tactica is the new strategy tactics RPG to come out of the Persona franchise. Since it's P5, that does indeed mean, yes, you're going to be playing as the Phantom Thieves again, but this time in chibi form. Yes, this is the first thing everybody noticed about this game was the switch from anime art style to cute anime art style, I guess. I was willing to give this a chance because the art's still well done, even if I don't particularly love that style. More on that later, though, because whoops, something happens which pulls the Phantom Thieves into a dream world where everyone is made of hats. Yeah, not as cool as the unique thematic palaces, but okay, what else? Well, when your team tries to figure out where they are and how to get back, they end up meeting not one, but two more characters involved in this new world's rebellion, who say that they'll help the Phantom Thieves get back to their world if they can help the rebels take down the evil Queen Marie. Oh yeah, the antagonist of the dream world is an overbearing pink hat woman named Marie.
What? My punishment? Listen, you bottom-feeding swine! If there's any punishing to be done!
I am the one who knocks.
Also gotta say that the two new characters are both great additions to the series/franchise. They both have their own story arc, and they both seemingly get more story screen time than the Phantom Thieves. To me, this was okay since I just spent about 150 storied hours with the lovable bastards in P5 Royal, meaning I know them well already. Both Arena and Toshiro, the new characters, realistically had to have that screen time, though, so we actually had time to get to care about them and their story and their background and everything. Anyway, this is kind of the setup for the whole story. Without spoiling anything, you will venture to different dream worlds and solve everybody's problems in an attempt to find your way back to Earth or the real LeBlanc, or maybe just to escape from the Hat People. But all that shit could potentially not matter at all if the gameplay is good. And is the gameplay good? Well, it's okay. If I'm being honest, it kind of felt like they made a mobile game, but then said, let's put it on consoles first to make more money. And then maybe we'll eventually actually see it on phones, but back to the gameplay. After any cutscene or story segments, there's brief moments where you get to hang out in every world's respective LeBlanc location. This is where you get to talk to your friends, you can buy new weapons from the shop, you can put points into your skill tree, and of course, accept actual missions, whether they're side missions or main story missions. Now, in these missions, they give you a level, oftentimes with different elevations for added complexity. Then you get to pick a team of 3 and try to complete the objective. With the objectives ranging from kill everything to reach the other end of the level. And that's actually mostly it, unless you count story context altering, like rescue your friends, which aka just means reach the end of the level and then backtrack back to the beginning of the level, while possibly killing everything. So there's not much to the missions. Even picking your team doesn't usually affect the outcome that much. At first, I constantly switched up my party at the beginning until realizing later that just using Ryuji and Yusuke was pretty much the best for that extra grid square that they could move or the extra bit of gun damage they could do. I will give the game credit where it's due, though. The turn-based, back-and-forth nature of the game was nice, and did make me actually stop and think once in a while. You can still do a baton pass, so if you exploit enemy weaknesses, you can still do some real damage to the enemies, which is fun. Even better than that, though, is when you can line up the characters triangularly to do a sweet triple threat attack where any enemies caught in the red tri-zone get crazy damage. It's very satisfying. The quote-unquote strategic combat is undeniably a bit less strategic than the mainline Persona games, though, because each character's persona only has like 2 or 3 attacks available, and to me, it just felt kind of limited, especially after playing Persona 5 Royal. That's about it, though, when talking about gameplay. You move in grid squares, you attack enemies when close enough, triple threat when possible, and then they throw some environmental hazards at you in an attempt to keep each world feeling fresh. And then there's the bosses. Again, credit where it's due, I did actually like the bosses a lot since they are essentially palace rulers, and each one seems to have a unique mechanic associated with their twisted beliefs or worldviews. My favorite was probably Yoshiki for the design alone. Remember how Persona 5, and previous games for that matter, had so much style that it was instantly recognizable? Like, remember how red, black, jazzy music and anime manga art instantly brought up memories of Persona 5? Well, this game, despite its change in art style, still retains a lot of those same Persona 5 qualities and vibes.
About you guys, but isn't this place a vibe?
Granted, the music's not nearly as good or as memorable. The story is not as dark or as high stakes. The characters all act like they're in a bunch of filler episodes. They don't even show you a 3D model of personas during fusion. But as much as I do shit on the game, I still kept playing it. It does have its own addictive qualities since the levels are all bite-sized and you can usually spend more time in them thinking than actually playing. Also, meaning, though, if you know what you're doing and aren't an idiot like me, you can probably blast through these levels in a couple minutes every time. So would I recommend this game? As someone who actually paid the full on-sale price of it, I'll tell you this much for free. If you go in with no or low expectations, I think you'll have a great 30-odd hours with this game. But if you go in expecting isometric Persona 5 with every Persona 5 feature scaled down 1-to-1 for a strategic version, you will be disappointed. Like I said, to me the game feels like a 4K mobile game wearing a P5 mask, but it's still got enough Persona in it for it to be both enjoyable and worthwhile at a sale price. If you watch this far, big thanks. Not sure which video I'm going to do next. It might be on Persona 5 or Persona 3 Reload, or it could be on a FPS game. I'm not sure. Just want to see how this shorter video would have done. Thanks again for watching. See ya.
Quit poking me, and I'm not a cat.
Get off of me! What the? Goddamn cat!
Hey bros, what's going on? This is Cotton. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Yeah, bit!